AA Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Alan and Alan.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 39 of the AA Sports Podcast. We are your hosts, Alan and Alan. Before we get started, I want to say happy anniversary, Alan.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. 8 years already.
Yeah, man.
So,
Time flies.
It does. It's insane.
They always say the older you get, the quicker time goes by.
Well, probably because mostly work. So I'm going to try to change that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's where most of my life disappears.
I hear that, man.
So, really, we got like little two subjects of news besides breaking down these two series. First one is finally the Angels employee Eric K has been indicted in the Tyler Skaggs overdose death last year. The federal grand jury indicted the former communication director related to the death of Tyler Skaggs. According to the indictment, Clay, who told federal agents he did provide drugs to Skaggs and charged with distribution of controlled substance, which resulted in Skaggs' death, and for possession with intent to distribute of the opioid fentanyl.
Yeah, man. So like you said, Eric K was indicted. He told federal agents that he provided fentanyl to Skaggs, who ultimately died on July 1st of 2019 after choking on his own vomit.
Yeah, Skaggs was 27. Law enforcement officers told ESPN the Skaggs snorted oxycodone and was likely unaware that it contained fentanyl, a powdery, deadly drug. Clay told investigators that he saw Skaggs store oxycodone in his hotel room the night he died, but he did not believe the drugs Skaggs took that evening were the same ones he gave him before the trip. Clay told agents that one of the lines he crushed the pills was not a substance that he recognized. So we'll have to keep an eye on this, see what comes with this. Prosecutors said that August they plan to charge him. So now it's been dead. So, it was later. But, fentanyl in the system, Skaggs would not have died if that was the issue. So,
yeah. So like you said, we'll see what happens from this. I mean, it's been ongoing for over a year now, and I'm sure they'll get into it with a trial. But let's move on. The next thing we got to talk about is the Miami Marlins. They did pretty well this season, I thought, but it seems like they're parting ways with their president, Michael Hill.
Yeah, Michael Hill, the 19-year tenure with the franchise has ended. He was the president of operations the past 6 years, provided continual after 2017 change in ownership, but his contract expired. He will not be back next season, Derek Jeter said Sunday.
Okay.
Derek Jeter said, I approached this as a new negotiation. We had conversations over the last week or so. I just felt like it would be best in the organization at this particular time to move on without Mike.
Yeah, man. I wonder what happened there because, like you said, I guess the reason he's stepping down or they weren't able to reach an agreement on the new contract. And, like you said, he's been there since 2002.
Yeah. So, he was the GM. He a wide search for the replacements. Candidates will unlikely include, the player development and scouting of the Marlins right now. Gary Dimeblo. Jeter said he has a lot of smart baseball minds in the organization. There are smart baseball minds around the game. We're going to sit down and see what type of person we need for this role. So he said Hill joined the Marlins back in 2002. The next year they won the World Series, but this year, of course, they finished 31-29. Was first above 500 since 2009, and then made the playoffs for the first time in 17 years. That coronavirus outbreak, so he helped, got into the wild card round. Unfortunately, they lost to Atlanta. The roster, after losing 105 games last year, you can't ask for that. It was a great step in the organization to see some progress that we made in the last 3 years. Hill was general manager for 6 years before becoming the president. He worked 3 years in the Jeter regime, and the organization went over heavy turmoil. He had a hand in Stanton's 13-year, $325 million deal. He was later involved with the trading of Stanton, Yelich, Ozuna, D. Gordon, and JT Realmuto before becoming president.
Okay.
So, I don't know. He did some good, but I don't know what they're going to do next.
I think Jeter just wants to go a different direction. I mean, he's just trying to make it all his own.
I think now they're within striking distance. He wants that guy can put him over the edge.
Right.
So
And like you said, this guy, he's been with the organization for quite a while. I'm sure he'll find a job somewhere else as well. So we'll keep an eye on both these things.
oh yeah, like if he wants to get back into the GM itch, his name would probably be at the top of the list for the Angels. It wouldn't surprise me. That position is open.
Oh yeah,
And then
absolutely.
Phillies as well, So they're looking for a GM too. That's the two spots for sure right now. So we'll keep an eye out, see what happens to that.
All right.
So that was really it. So the next thing we got to talk about is these championship series.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah. The ALCS. Whew. Yeah. I mean, that's, you got the Astros and the Rays. And, both these series, the championship series, I thought was pretty great.
Yeah. The shocker, of course, was Astros making it. Because, we thought
they weren't even good enough to get in.
Yeah,
they get beat in the first round.
If it wasn't for the extended playoffs, they wouldn't have been in.
Exactly.
But they made the most of it.
So let's pick up here at Game 3. The first two games, as you know, the Rays took, and then Game 3. This one brought the Rays to a 3-0 lead in the series. And, it was crazy. They exploded with 5 runs in the 6th inning to ultimately beat the Astros 5-2. Wendell and Renfroe both had 2 RBIs in this game. What'd you think about it?
I liked it. It started off quick because we were talking about this game right when we were recording last week. Yep. Tuve took that lead early, but then, like you said, the top of 6, Ray scored 5 runs, 2 RBI singles by Whedon, hit by pitch, and the 2 doubles.
Yeah,
it was they struck with the eye on top, but then of course in the bottom 6, Astros responded with the solo home run off of Brentley, but that was all they could do because
they didn't get it going.
Came in, shut them down to that, so it got a 3-0 lead, and you had to put Astros on their heels. And apparently after the game, Alex Bregman, they watched the Red Sox 0-4 against the Yankees being down 3-0 to force Game 7 and end up going to the World Series, saying that we can do this too. So, Game 4, a lot on the line.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, after you go down 3-0, you absolutely need to grab inspiration from somewhere.
Yeah, because I think it's like a 98% chance that you're going to lose the series.
Exactly.
They're the only ones that have ever done it in baseball history.
Exactly. So, yeah, what about Game 4?
Game 4, man. It hit everything you ever wanted. 2 teams with pitchers going against each other. Greinke versus Glasnow.
Yep.
Astros were in a win-now mode. And once again, Tuve helped with the Astros on the board early with that solo home run in the first. Like, he just set the tone, like, early these next couple of games. And then the third, Altuve added more with the RBI double to extend the lead to 2-0. But then the fourth, this Tampa Bay postseason legend now, Randy Rosarina hits a 2-run home run to tie the game. The next inning, Astros took the lead back, but Stringer hit his 2-run home run of his own. But then both pitchers went 6 innings. Glasnow gave up his 4 runs. Greinke gave up 2. Both bullpens were shut down bats until the top of the 9th. Javier was pitching and gave a solo home run to Willie. Yeah, they cut the lead by 1. And then, of course, they replaced him. Ryan Presley came in and got the save to extend the season for the Astros and force in Game 5.
Yeah, like you said, man, I like this game because, for the Astros, it was a do-or-die game.
Yeah.
And you're down 3-0. You just got some inspiration by watching the comeback, and they finally delivered. Like you said, they had Greinke on the mound who went 6, giving up 2 runs, one of them being a home run.
Yeah.
But Springer and Altuve both had 2 RBIs. They helped the Astros, win that game 4-3 and giving Glasnow a loss. That's pretty big. That's huge.
Especially he's been one of the better pitchers this postseason until then. So to get 4 runs out of him was very, knocked him out early because then they pulled him. He probably could have went 7 if they didn't get to him there, but it gave him a shot and extend their season to another game. And then Game 5, man.
Yeah, Game 5 was like deja vu, man. It was like another do or die game for the Astros and another 4-3 win for them.
And it was weird because these games were 7-game series in 7 days.
Yep.
Both series, we'll talk about the next series as well. It was a bullpen game for both teams. You're not used to that in the playoffs come baseball. So it's like now and if anyone has a bullpen game, the Rays, you think, because they were one of the first ones to have an opener. And
right.
So you think they had the lead, but
Well,
man, this was a fun one, like you
well,
said.
like you said, this one was, and it was another tight game. But the reason this game was pivotal is because Correa had a walk-off home run, which that had to shift the momentum in the Astros' favor because now they believe.
Yeah. Like you said, Springer hit another home run to take the lead early. Brandon Lowe ties it with a home run in the third. Astros retake the lead with a 2 RBI single from Brentley. But then the fifth, Randy Ozunarina hits a solo home run to cut the lead. Cho hits a home run to tie it. But then, like you said, the ninth inning, the bottom, Correa hits a walk-off home run to pretty much center field.
And everybody knew it, too.
Tomorrow night.
Yeah,
that crack, I looked, I was like, oh, God.
Nice little flip.
Oh, yeah, he chucked that thing.
it.
Yeah, he did. But, man, it's like, okay, game 6, here we go.
Was this the game where Correa was talking to the pitcher after they were getting all, like, heated in the moment? Or was that – there was one of these games?
No, that was a different, I think.
Okay, it might have been the next game. But I just remember that, like, the pitcher – I don't know if he threw something – he didn't even hit the guy. The batter, I can't remember the situation. The batter got super upset about it.
I remember. I'm trying to think.
It was just a ball or something.
I think it was game 6.
Okay, so let's get into it then.
Because he didn't swing at it.
Whatever the case was
said, yeah. Because
whatever the case was, it was just it was a pitch. Didn't come near the guy. Didn't hit the guy. It was like an off speed, and he was all mad because he didn't challenge him or something.
Yeah.
And he was yelling, barking at the pitcher. I didn't get it at all.
Yeah,
man.
he got like a hype yell and Astros didn't like it, the unwritten rule bullshit.
Well, yeah, exactly. But, like I said, game 6, the momentum shifted from game 5. I the Astros actually believed in themselves.
Yeah, because this is rematch of game 1. So if we go back to that, Snell was good early, but then got in a little trouble. They got to Valdez and ended up taking the game 1 lead. So will it have the same outcome? No, it didn't. At the bottom of the second, Willie Atames hit an RBI double to take the lead early. It was a questionable call on the top of the 5th. Snell gave up a leadoff walk and then a single, but then he was pulled from the game. This is what a lot of people were wondering. Why did you do this?
Yeah, man.
It was early. You're talking the 5th inning. Snell, Cy Young winner 2 years ago. Like, you should believe him, but this is something the Rays do after some point to a pitching count or batting through the rotation. They pull you no matter what.
Like you said, they put them in the 5th, but the Astros ended up putting up 4 runs in the 5th.
Yeah.
And like I said, Tampa Bay, they tried to come back, but they did a little too late. The Astros top 4 in the lineup, each of them produced an RBI that game. So like everybody was hitting. Yeah,
like I said, after that they got to them. Correa hits the RBI single, took a 4-1 lead. Kyle Tucker adds to it on the 6th and 7th. Bradley adds it to the 7th. Well, you say, Manuel Maggott added some runs in the 7th, then a 2-run homer in the 8th, but then the Rays, of course, lose to the Astros to force Game 7, taking 3 straight.
Exactly.
So, man.
Definitely a good series to watch, man. And like you said, as we all hoped it would, starting off that with a blowout, looking like it was going to be a blowout, now we get to a Game 7.
Yeah, because, if early you talk a 3-0 lead, and you're like, well, I guess the Yankees and Rays was the better series. And then these bats of the Astros did not want to give up. We should have expect that. They're a veteran team. How many they've been? They're technically defending AL champs.
Yeah.
Yes, they're pitching. Cole went to up north. Verlander with injury.
Well, that's right. That's the biggest thing that I thought is that they didn't have the pitching to get through it.
Yeah, I didn't think so either.
I'm shocked that they forced a Game 7 without pitching. Like Greinke's like the only guy they really had.
Yeah. So came down to this Game 7 drama. Okay, the Astros do what only the 0-4 Red Sox have done: win 4 straight, head to the World Series. The pitching matchup of 2 old teammates, Morton and McKellers. And this have some fun?
Yeah. Like you said, it all came down to this game. Dodgers took the first 3. Astros took the next 3. And you know what? This Game 7 did not disappoint at all.
No. Morton was shut down the Astros in 5 2/3 innings, 6 Ks, only 2 hits allowed. That would all the Rays would need. In the first, the unsung hero, Randy
Arozarena?
Yeah, hits a 2-run home run. And then the second inning, Mike Zuno hits a solo home run to be a 3-0 lead. In the 6th, Mike adds another by sacrifice fly before nothing. The 8th, Astros finally making some noise with a 2 RBI single that would get them. But that would be all they get because Rays would win Game 7 when the bullpen came in, shut it down, and now Rays are heading back to the World Series for only the second time and the first time since 2008 when they lost to the Phillies in 5 games.
Yeah, man. Like you said, the Tampa Bay took control of this game pretty early, and they never looked back. They knew it was do or die, and they had the momentum going. But they're like, look, we're done playing with the Astros. It's time for us to get a W.
Yeah. And Morton, man, Morton has now became this Game 7 on the line pitcher that has stepped up. Like, I think what's the ERA now? Like 0.9 something now.
Oh yeah, well,
it's ridiculous now. And so, Morton McGellers were the ones who won Game 7 against the Dodgers in the World Series. So, to force, for them to win it. So, it was awesome, interesting, them going against each other, but Morton ended up getting the W.
Yeah, man. And like I said, the rookie, Randy, what else is to say about this dude, man? He showed up.
MVP of the AL, and the deal, this offseason, everyone questioned this deal because
okay,
he was very limited time in the Cardinals. It cost the Rays their number 1 prospect at the time. Then, unfortunately, he got COVID preseason, so he missed just over half the seasons, but he did do some work, and now the Rays look like geniuses now with this trade of what he's done this postseason.
Yeah, man, I think he's hit
7
four home runs.
Well, 4 in that series, but he's total 7.
Yeah, man.
He's now, and I think he only needs 1 more to take the all-time single postseason lead, and of course he has at least 4 games to tie and break it.
Hey, man, he's been hot. I think he'll at least get at least 1 home run this series.
I would think so.
I think he's going to continue his streak, but we'll see.
So, with the series being over, the biggest question is what's next for the Astros? First thing first, I think, is the manager, Dusty Baker. Does he come back?
I think he does, man. As much as he wanted to be a 1-year kind of thing or whatever the case may be, he saw success and he can see this team going forward. However, I almost feel like it's time for the Astros to rebuild.
I think you're going to. The new GM is going to have to think about this because ultimately Astros are going to lose their whole entire outfield.
Yeah.
Springers can walk, Brantley can walk, and Reddick can all free agents.
And if I was the Astros owner, GM, whatever, I think it's rebuild time. I would possibly build the team around somebody like Correa. I would keep him, build a team around that guy. I don't know.
So, Tubay's locked down for a couple of years. Bregman still has a few more years. Correa, I think, has 1 more year left on the deal. Of course, last year's Rookie of the Year. Alvarez, Kyle Tucker, plenty of time. So, and, lineups after it's kind of set. The rotation, you have Greinke and McKellers for 1 more year. Valdez, you have course control for a couple of years. Ryan Presley, high leverage relief role for the Astros, could be in the market for 1 or 2 more late inning guys. So it's an interesting year, but like if you lose your outfield, man, you're talking about rebuilding. Of course, I think Kyle Tucker could probably take one of those positions. Reddick is older, so he'd be a smaller deal. Brantley can get a 2-3 year deal out there possibly, and then of course Springer is his first time hitting the market, so he can get a full deal what he wants most likely.
So what do you think? You think Coach coming back?
If I go rebuild mode, I don't know.
Right. I felt like Dusty had a great time though. It was his first walk-off win in the postseason, I think, and
with COVID being a short season,
right?
The last minute notice that you're about to become a manager, and all that to come within a game of the World Series, you can't really, and then missing your ace pitcher for the season.
Exactly.
And losing the other guy in free agency. What more could the Astros have wanted?
He's a baseball guy year in and year out. He's got the itch. I think he's going to want to continue to stick around as long as he can.
I think biggest thing to him, he wants to compete.
I know.
If a team can compete and they want him back, then yes. If they're thinking rebuild mode, I think he walks away.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to be stuck in a situation like you're the Pirates. He doesn't want a team to just babysit. He wants to go for the gold. I get it.
Yeah, because he's never won the World Series. The one thing he's never won the World Series as a manager. He has as a player, but I don't know. Like, if I were the Astros, I'd go full rebuild because you don't know, you're missing a full year of Verlander. so you're not having him next year. So most likely means if I'm thinking rebuild, I'm trading Greinke for something for a full season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you fully. I think it's time to rebuild.
Yeah, and then if it depends, like, do you want how many years of rebuild you're talking about? Is it time to try to trade Carrera this offseason?
Right. If they're keeping Altuve, Correa, Bregman, all those kind of guys, then it's time. You want a short rebuild, maybe like 2-year max.
Yeah.
But I think they might want to start kind of from scratch.
Yeah, because you could trade Carrera and Greinke. Carrera will get you a better prospect. Greinke will probably give you a decent one. After that, then you got a couple of young guys that could possibly compete. That division is kind of weak besides, the Oakland A's right now. So unless, Angels does a whole lot of work this offseason once they get a GM and stuff. So it all depends. We'll see what this new GM got for the Astros,
Okay.
Their season just ended, so I know he's getting to work, figure out what he wants to do.
All right. Well, let's move on to the NLCS, man. So we got the Braves and the Dodgers, and we're going to pick it up at Game 2. And, I feel like Atlanta was really showing that they absolutely belonged in this postseason and in the series.
Yeah.
What can I say about this game? This game was exciting.
Yeah, this was almost over by the time we finished recording, and they got a big lead, but then some drama came down to the last inning. Like, man, I was like, yo, are they going to do this?
Yeah, it started off slow.
Yes.
About four innings, it was pretty much a pitcher's duel. But then the Braves came alive in the fourth, and they never lost the lead after that.
No.
I think they ultimately took the game 8-7. So it was a pretty good scoring game.
Oh yeah, because I think the Dodgers scored. I think was it 3 or 4 in the top of the ninth, and had bases loaded.
Yeah,
and like, oh snap! I was like, could they do this? And
there's definitely opportunity there.
They couldn't get done. I was really hoping. I was like, this is going to flip the script if they got that win.
But yeah, this game ultimately reiterated the fact that Freddie Freeman is a huge part of their game.
Yeah.
For the Braves.
Yeah, most likely MVP candidate.
Yeah.
He's getting up there in age, so it's time for him to win now, kind of thing. And especially the year he had with the highly of the COVID, like what he described and stuff. So,
from what you and I've been seeing, though, the Braves, I feel like they're just going to get better every year. So Freeman is in a good opportunity to capture one with the Braves.
Oh yeah, I think he has like 2 or 3 years left in his deal. He has plenty of time. So
I think the Braves absolutely want to. Well, they're competing now, but they want to be in the show in those couple years. Absolutely.
So Game 3, what did you say about this game, man? I bet the Braves fans had horror thoughts since last year, Game 5 in the NLDS, when they gave up 10 runs in the first to the Cardinals. Well, they did one better. 11 runs in the first to the Dodgers.
Nuts, man. So the Dodgers absolutely came alive. The Dodgers must have been in panic mode because they're supposed to be the top dog, and they fell 2-0 in the series to the Braves. They're like, look, man, we got to win now. We can't go 3-0. So they need to win this game at all costs. Yeah.
So 3 home runs, 2 RBI doubles, an RBI single, all in the first inning to be up 11-0 after 1. It was a wrap after that. Dodgers add 4 more runs before Braves scored.
Well,
the final being 15-3.
Right. Yeah. Lucky for the Dodgers, a lot of their stress was set to ease in the first inning after scoring 11. But that also took some stress off the Braves because the Braves at that point just game control. It's like, okay, well, we're not in a tight one. We can't. We can choose who we're going to throw out there, and we could get some substitutes in because we know this game is pretty much a wash. Yeah, and it was funny because after the first inning, it was 11-0, and I'm watching the game, and they're showing people still coming in from the gates to see their team. They all had Braves jerseys on, and I was like, oh, this sucks for you guys.
I think I saw a picture where a guy, he was at Game 5 last year.
Okay.
And then it was like before the beginning of the inning, Braves gave up 21 runs before having a seat in the seat.
Right. Right, exactly. That's crazy. Like you said, the Dodgers ended up winning this game 15-3. Every single starter for the Dodgers, except for Chris Taylor, had a hit in this game.
Yeah, the biggest question with this game was what Dave Roberts didn't do was take out pitcher Uriera after that big lead. It was like, why did he stay in there? Like, you could have saved him for another game. Like, go to the bullpen, see if they can keep it the lead. But it worked out for them,
Yeah.
So, Game 4.
Yeah, Game 4, man. Game 4, what can I say except for the Braves quickly forgot about the night before, and they made Kershaw look like the Kershaw we're used to seeing in the postseason.
Yeah, this is the game that Kershaw went to after that back spasms.
Yeah.
So,
Although Kershaw did pitch pretty decent until the 6th inning.
Yeah, Dodgers had a good feeling that they're going to tie this game up with Kershaw on the mound. He was having a great year. Dodgers get on the board first with in the third with a solo home run off Edwin Rios, but then, of course, the Braves tied it up with a solo home run from Ozuna. Then Kershaw got into trouble. Braves scored 6 runs in that inning. 4 were charged to Clayton Kershaw.
Yep.
And so, you got 2 RBI doubles, 2 RBI doubles, and then an RBI singles. So it wasn't like home runs or nothing, but it's the small baseball, and they just got to them.
Yeah, man, it is one of those games that got away from the Dodgers. The Braves ultimately took this one, winning 10-2, giving them a 3-1 lead over the Dodgers. So the Dodgers can't be feeling good at this point because the night before they absolutely crushed it, and now they get crushed this game.
Yeah, especially your ace pitcher, And
Exactly.
like the biggest thing I said this postseason was the previous years of Clayton was his arm fatigue. Full season. His arm is actually a lot better now. It's like almost mid-season form at this rate. So you thought it'd be a different scenario, but then it's like the crushing is like, man, playoff Clayton is not having good legacy.
And I'm wondering if it's the stress level. Maybe he can't handle the stress. I don't know.
Like we'll find
He's
out.
He's pitching tonight, so we'll see what he's doing.
Yeah. So the Game 5, like we said in the previous series, Game 5 has become like the bullpen series. 7 days. Braves scored first in the first inning with a sac fly from d'Arnaud. Their rookie Christian Pace hits RBI singles like a 2-0, but then Corey Seager cuts the lead by 1 with a solo in the 4th. In the 6th, Will Smith hits a 3-run home run to take the 4-2 lead. Dodgers add some more runs, the RBI single from Betts. Then Seager hits a second home run of the game with a 2-run home run. And then d'Arnaud gets some more runs in with a ground out, but Friedman scores, but that'd be it. So Braves let the Dodgers win, send the series of one more game at least to Game 6.
Yeah, man, this game, the Dodgers absolutely strung together some very productive 6th and 7th innings. They scored 3 runs each inning, which that absolutely helped them move forward on this one to get them within 1.
Yeah, because Braves are like most of our division in the NL East.
Mm-hmm.
Bullpen had questionable sometimes. So being a bullpen game, they got to them late. You just need a shutdown bullpen to do a game like this. And, being a lot of their down the starting pitching between injuries this year, unfortunately, it has to go to this. So Game 6.
Yeah, man, Game 6, the Braves obviously were hoping to end the series here, but Walker Buehler had different plans.
Yeah, Game 1 rematch, Buehler versus Max Fried. You're like, okay, this was a good match early, Game 1. What's going to happen? Like you said, Buehler was on something level.
And that's what they needed. They absolutely needed this from him. Buehler pitched 6 scoreless innings, and that's exactly what they asked for.
Yeah, and then the first inning, it's all they needed was Seager and Turner going back-to-back solo home runs, and then Bellinger hit an RBI single to take the 3-0 lead in the first. And like I said, Buehler went to work. 6 innings, 6 Ks, 7 hits, no runs.
It's nice for him, though, because, once you go back-to-back and give yourself a cushion, Buehler can now focus on his job and not worry about giving up a run.
Yeah. And then the 7th, finally, after Buehler was pulled, the Braves scored a run by RBI double by Acuna. But then the bullpen finally was settled in. And then this was the shocker. In the 9th inning, Jansen got the save, went 1-2-3, only 6 pitches needed to force Game 7, saving that game.
Nice.
Like, Braves were just too aggressive there in the 9th.
Yeah.
It was not a close game. You need to be aggressive to try to get something going. If not, you got tomorrow night, Game 7. And did they?
Well, yeah, man, and like you said, the both championship series games or series were great because you have 2 Game 7s in the postseason, one day apart from each other.
Yeah, they're back to back to back, and man,
what more could fans of baseball want at this point?
Yeah,
and especially this Game 7.
Like I said, at least some fans got to see the NLCS. 11,000 fans.
Oh yeah,
got to be there. So It's interesting. So Game 7.
This game, it can only be summed up in one hit.
Yeah.
By Cody Bellinger.
So everything Dodgers are trying to get back, Braves are trying to get to the first World Series since 95. Yep. Braves strike first for the Zuna RBI single,
Oh, yeah, they didn't miss a beat.
Swanson hit a solo home run to take the lead. But Will Smith hits a 2 RBI single to tie the game. Rookie Austin Riley hits the go-ahead home run. Then the 6th inning pitch hit home run by Hernandez to tie the game. But then 7th, MVP Bellinger hits the go-ahead home run. After that, bullpen shut down the Braves, going 6 up, 6 downs to win Game 7 and head back to the World Series.
Yeah, man, great game. Although Bellinger did dislocate his shoulder by celebrating.
At first I was like, we mean celebrating. Like, was it the post game? But
they
it
went
was
in there. They did the elbow lock, and then the next guy he went up, out. And they tried going for the same thing. He just kind of gave him the shoulders, like, no, let's do this, and then have to go down to the tunnel.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, the biggest issue I had with this series or with this game was that the Dodgers waited until after 1 p.m. to inform Dustin May that he was getting the start.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Dustin May struggled. We saw that in the first inning. Like you said, he gave up a run or so, and he just didn't look comfortable. He said he was ready to go, but you can't wait till 1 o'clock to tell this guy he's going to be the starter that
Yeah,
time.
especially, if you watch Trevor Bauer's vlog, you saw, like, when he knows – it's a game day, he makes sure he goes to bed early the day before.
Exactly.
He wakes up early. He has a routine.
And so just because, yeah.
Dustin May's a rookie, so he might not have a solid routine yet. But, yes, he was only supposed to use as the opener most likely, but still.
He's a young guy who wasn't aware he's going to get the start in Game 7. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
You should have told this guy ahead of time. And we obviously saw him struggling. He threw 8 straight balls to start the game.
Yeah,
8 straight balls. He walked 2 guys on straight pitches, giving up a run eventually. Even though it was the most ideal way to start the game, the Dodgers found a way to advance the World Series like we thought they could.
Yeah, and we figured after, the 2-0 series leads by the Braves, if anyone definitely can come back and reset was the Dodgers, and they did. And
they didn't panic. That was a big thing.
And then the other biggest thing from that game, Game 6 and 7, was the defensive plays by Mookie Betts and right field stealing 2 home runs away, especially Game 7 home run.
Yep.
Like timing it perfectly, going up, snagging it to contain the lead. So the biggest question next is, what's next for the Braves?
I think the Braves just need to keep doing what they're doing. Lock up any key free agents this offseason if there are any. But, if they should be even better next season because hopefully the pitchers will be healthy.
Yeah, so the biggest question for me is Ozuna. What does he do?
All right.
Remember, he was a 1-year deal. It worked out for him because he had a great year. What is it?
Well, now he's gonna get paid.
The DH got the position for the NL, got him more at bats and opened up, and then he was one of the strong suits, especially in the postseason. So, does he stay? Does he walk?
I don't know, man. I think it depends on how he thought he fit in with the Braves this year because he might want to stick around even if it was a little bit of a pay cut.
And then the biggest thing I think is what most likely we all think this is going to happen is the DH is staying. So that opens up for why he can save the Braves because, yes, he can play outfield or he can play DH, which clearly he did this year.
I like the idea. As much as I like seeing pitchers hit, I like seeing actual batters compete.
Yeah, because instead of you like, okay, pitcher's batting, I can look down if no one's on base, it's probably going to be a quick out.
Exactly.
Or, someone's on base, they'll try to bunt to try to get the guy over real quick. Let's get this going.
Or if there's a guy in scoring position, the pitcher's going to be an automatic out, then it's just a waste. At least with the DH, we know that it could be competitive, and that can change everything.
Yeah. And then, of course, the unfortunate question mark is Cole Hamels made 1 start for the Braves. What could the season been like? They kept him. And Felix Fernandez was probably going to be maybe the 5th starter. He opted out for COVID. Mike Soroka, the early season Achilles. Apparently, I saw today that he's on track to be back next season. So if they had like Soroka, they had 4 starters. So
right. What if they had healthy players for the whole season and nobody opted out or any of that stuff? They could actually be going to the World Series. Who knows? It would have been a different outlook.
Well, Last year, they got to the Division Series, lost in Game 5. This year, they got the Championship Series, lost in Game 7. So if they progress each year, it means next year they got to go to the World Series, you would think.
And that's what I said. The Braves just got to keep doing what they're doing. I feel like they're on a good route to get there. I like what they're doing. And I've been saying this for a couple years now. I really like the Braves.
Yeah, and then I said if they could somehow win Game 7 against the World Series and they somehow would have won it, I said I'd be damned. Both our rivals would have went back-to-back years and won the World Series.
Yeah.
But they just came a little short. Dodgers, who we thought we were, they're the heavy preseason favorite after getting Mookie Betts.
Speaking of, I know this is off topic, but speaking of our division, I heard the good news about Cohen today.
He passed part 1.
Hey man, we're halfway there.
7-1 by the committee. Goes to the second committee next, and then the owners finally.
I think it's a lock.
It's a lot.
I think we're good.
I think so too. I think Cohen is going to be within the next, of course, probably 2 weeks, probably because it'll probably be a week after the World Series ends. They'll get the owners together to
finalize it. Yeah.
Finalize it, and then they got to do an owners meeting because, like you said, the DH rule that might stay. They got to vote on that. Any other rules they want to change before the winter meetings and free agency starts. So,
well, I heard Manfred is open. He would like to keep the playoffs structured the way it is. I think moving forward. So we'll see how that works out.
Because it probably gave them a lot more money for the TV rights.
Oh yeah.
Because when I went to create the thumbnail for our last video, each series AL NL was sponsored by a different company. Each series.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and you saw it on the mound. They had it up there.
So they brought more money from that. So they're thinking how much money they got for. Yes, the wild card round was interesting. 3 games, bam, bam, done. But like I said, Astros would never been in the playoffs if it was a regular format,
right?
And they got within a game of the World Series.
Exactly.
It gives an extra factor, and it would be more competitive.
The
whole Central from both sides lost.
Yeah,
which we thought was one of the stronger points in the divisions.
The only thing I'm going to have an issue with is that we have 162 games, and now half the field gets in. That's the only issue I'm having.
Okay, I think we should expand it.
Like I said last time, remember?
Yeah, I think we should expand it.
The top teams get bye weeks.
At least the top team, yes.
Then it would make sense to me because they get an advantage for being good.
Yeah, I at least understand if the number 1 seed gets at least a round bye.
Let the teams that weren't supposed to get in there play against each other, and then they go into the rounds. Like a wild card series.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye out, see what they do. I think that's the biggest thing is DH for the NL, and then expanded playoffs this offseason for the owners besides voting on the new Mets owner.
All right, I know we got off topic.
But
let's talk about the World Series.
World Series, man. Did I call it or what?
Yeah, man.
Preseason picks, Rays and Dodgers.
Hey, at least out of all that mess up, at least you got these two right?
Right? I was terrible the first round. Both were. I'm like,
both pretty bad on that.
I had a feeling with these Tampa Bay Rays last year. I think they were just a little bit away. The growth last year, they went 5 games to the Astros, and really were like, besides the Yankees, gave the Astros fight. And of course, it was in the division series.
Yeah, well, what are the odds that 2 number 1 seeds make it though to the championship?
I think what I saw is the first time since 2013.
Okay, I mean it's rare.
It is rare. So, but pitching has been the thing this year, and both these teams have it.
Well,
and then, of course, the thing that sticks out is the payroll for both teams.
I was about to say the payroll sticks out to me because Clayton Kershaw's pay alone is just as much as all the Rays pitching staff. I think
it's Clayton's and Betts' prorated rate for this season is like $1 million less than the whole Tampa Bay team.
Nuts.
And that's the factor of all the young deals and cheap deals that the Rays got. This is why 2 years ago, I said, the Red Sox president of operations, Charlie, he was a finalist for the Mets. What he's done with Tampa Bay, every year you feel like they have one of the best farm systems in the league. Come on, they traded Chris Archer to Pirates for Glasnow, who's pitching tonight, and the last year's All-Star outfielder Austin Meadows.
Yep,
stuff like that. It's just makes the Rays find these deals, and we talk about the AL MVP this year of the playoffs. Randy, it's like they find these deals that make it work because they see something, and now everyone notices this guy as a postseason fame. And the Dodgers, They've always been good.
They've been good. They've been good at least the last 5 years. They've been really good.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a tough one, man, because the Dodgers are primed to get a win, and the Rays are a really good team. I can't wait.
Yeah. This series has to go 7, I feel like. So, we start with the Rays breakdown. AL number 1 seed, first game they swept the Blue Jays in the first round. Next round they went 5 with the Yankees, which was the heavy AL favorite preseason.
So, right, they went 5 with them, and then they went 7 the next series. You think they're going to go 7 again?
I think so.
Ooh, that's tough, man. That's a tough route.
It is. I think it's tough. Luckily, there's days off this round.
Yes, that's true.
That there is, so the pitching is going to be different. So you have days off to give that extra arm. So where like Clayton and Glasnow could be seen 3 times in the series this round instead of 2 like the last round.
It depends on the situation, but they could be seen, like you said.
And then, with the neutral site, it's anything goes this year with the World Series.
Right.
So it's not like it's LA, you're used to the heat, or Tampa Bay, you're a dome. This is a open stadium with can close of weather. So
and you got actual fans in stands, so that helps.
Yeah, 11,000 that I think that stadium fits just under 50,000. So you're talking about around 20%. But still, there's some noise there besides the artificial probably noise.
Well, yeah,
still pumping.
We saw the Braves fans were showing up left and right, and it definitely made a difference with fans out there.
Yeah, and then a lot of people have left California in recent years to go to Texas and stuff. So they're probably not. There's probably a decent amount of Dodgers fan there, and then it's not too far from Tampa Bay. So the people who most live in Tampa are retired. So if they have money,
they have plenty of time
to
to travel.
So, but the biggest thing for the Rays team is going to be the pitching. Yes, they have optimally 3 ace pitchers they got with Glasnow, Snell, and Charlie Morton.
Yeah, no, that's pretty solid. That's kind of what you need at this point, and then your bullpen has to show up.
Yeah, and if they stick to a strategy, believe in their pitchers, I think they can get some wins. And then if Randy could stay hot,
he's hot.
Brandon Lowe, has a little bit better series, they can make a lot of noise in this series. And they got to make sure they keep those bats down with Seager, Betts, and Bellinger a little quieter to have a chance in the series.
All right, so how'd the Dodgers get here?
Dodgers, they swept the Brewers. God, I forgot who made the 8th seed.
Well, that's because the Dodgers took care of them pretty quickly.
Yeah, they did.
We expected the Dodgers to get to this point. We didn't expect them to struggle.
And then the next series was a surprise. The Padres we thought was that heavyweight matchup,
and
they swept them.
I thought they might have taken it. Yeah, I thought they could have at least competed.
Yeah, like forced maybe 5. It could have been a possibility, but God, they swept them. So
they took a completely different route than the Rays. The Rays had to go to what? The Rays had to go to Game 5 in
the
max games, Game 5 and Game 7. Whereas the Dodgers, they breezed through it.
Yep, they won 5 straight to go into the NL, and then they ended up going 7 games because, of course, that was the biggest thing going into the NLCS was Braves were undefeated, and so were the Dodgers. So who's going to get the first loss? And of course, Braves took Game 1, so they were undefeated until Game 3. But being, majority of that team has been to the World Series now, the playoffs, is a very veteran team. Mookie Betts has been to the World Series too, MVP guy. So biggest thing was, like you said, Dustin, Game 7, being the rookie. Bellinger, I think this is, 3rd year in the league. So he's still fairly new, but he's been to at least 1 World Series.
Right.
So it's interesting.
I like Dustin May a lot.
Yes, I do too.
I just felt like they gave him
the bad,
Game 7. But I think he's going to rebound this series.
I think so. They've been using more of the bullpen guy. He will be a traditional starter like he was started for most of the season. But like I said, with the days off, it does reset, So the biggest thing is who's going to go tomorrow night, then who goes let's see what's that. So then we got Thursday. No, wait. So we got tonight and tomorrow.
Okay.
Day off on Thursday. Then we
Okay.
got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, day off Monday, and then Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wow. Yeah, man.
So, yeah. So, let's see. Bueller pitched Game 6. So, we got 7, day off So he could pitch tomorrow night. I didn't hear anything to see who they announced anything yet.
I think he should pitch tomorrow for sure, because if they need him later, they're going to want to use him.
Yeah, I think so. I think you want to get him out early. It's 4 days rest. Dodgers had not officially announced it yet, but Tampa Bay is going with Snell tomorrow night, which doesn't surprise me.
As they should. I'm sure Bueller's going to be up there, man. I can't imagine him not being.
I think so, because he went 6. The other guy they probably would start besides, Dustin May, Uriera, he pitched game 7, so I don't think he's going to be able to start. He's more the 3rd or 4th starter. So yeah, I would think Bellinger would have to go number 2, especially no matter what happens this game or not.
Right.
So then
Bueller.
Yeah, Bueller. Yeah. So
all right, well then let's get on to our picks. What do you think is going to happen?
I am still in the air. So
are you? I thought for sure because you locked it down earlier. You might as well stick with them now.
What, with the Dodgers?
I thought you had to raise.
No, I stick to Dodgers winning game 7.
Oh.
I'm thinking flip-flopping now.
Well, I'm going with the Dodgers. I feel like the Dodgers have been here. They've been really good for the last 5 years. They're itching for a chance to get a championship now. I think the Dodgers are going to take it. It's going to be tough,
leaning towards Dodgers as well. I think
so.
Braves, if they can get shutout pitching from their 3 guys,
okay,
and they take their 3 games, like especially if they could shut down the first 3 games, it's going to be hard for Dodgers to win 4 straight against these Tampa Bay Rays.
Look, both teams are great. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah.
If the Rays win, I would not be surprised.
It won't surprise me either.
I just feel like the Dodgers are solid, though, really solid.
I'm going, like I said, I got to go game 7, and I'm really a coin flip come that 7. It's like, because then everyone's going to be all hands on deck that series. Because, like I said, will Clayton go in game 1 tonight? Yep. He's set up to go game 7. Same thing with Glasnow. Snell will come out the bullpen. Morton will come out the bullpen at that with this many days off and stuff.
Oh, probably. They have to. Yeah. Yeah.
So if it goes 7, man, I would still have to slightly edge it to the Dodgers, maybe.
Well, like you said,
it wouldn't surprise me if Rays finally get the first World Series.
And exactly, it wouldn't surprise me either. So either way, it should be a good series.
It should be. It doesn't surprise me. These teams are there. Unfortunately, Rays are going to have to start paying people here in the next couple of years. So if they can't afford it because they are a smaller team, this could be one of the 2 shots they got this year, next year.
Yeah.
For us to start play. And then Dodgers, I think Clay Shaw's legacy is on the line.
Absolutely.
He's got
to show up this series. He's got to show everyone he can pitch in the postseason.
Jock Peterson's a free agent after this year, so
he should have been gone. He should have been gone before this. He shouldn't even be on the Dodgers right now.
Right? He should be on the Angels right now.
Exactly. He's lucky.
He probably is, because whoever was the reason. But
yeah, if he gets a ring this year, he is so lucky.
Yeah, but so I think we're going to talk about this. I saw this article, I don't know if you did, by Barstool about Tom Brady's a wizard.
I saw something. I didn't read into it. What's he talking about? I know he's pulling for the Rays, I think.
Of course. But, okay, so
yeah,
since the 70s when he, was born and grew up in San Francisco.
Okay.
San Francisco 49ers drafted Joe Montana.
All right.
Which all the Super Bowls. Also during that time when he was in San Francisco, Oakland A's won the World Series.
Okay.
He went to college, went to Michigan. Red Wings lost his first years there in the Stanley Cup, but then they won the Stanley Cup. Michigan, I forgot what, I think they won the NCAA title that year.
And we know New England's only gone like a year without winning any championship.
And then, then he goes to New England. Of course, all the Patriots championship, Red Sox championship, Bruins championships, Celtics championship.
Yeah.
And now he goes to Tampa Bay this year. The Lightning has won the Stanley Cup.
Oh,
now
man.
The Rays are in the World Series.
Winning just follows him. That's a good point. So
I was like, what the hell?
So ultimately, you're saying if the Rays win, they need to thank Tom Brady.
Someone needs to go pay that man, make him live wherever you want to live, because he turns whatever city to a sports mega championship winning city.
Yeah, man. If you break it down, that's pretty crazy.
It is. Like, I saw the article, I'm like, what do you mean Tom Brady's a wizard? And then when they showed everything, I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like this is kind of scary once you think
It
about it.
is kind of scary, man. And to think that no matter where you go, everybody's winning.
Yeah,
that's crazy, man. That is crazy.
And then, by golly, somehow they can get to the Super Bowl. That's it. I'm done.
They could. You saw what they did this week.
Yeah, against Green Bay, man.
Exactly. Green Bay's been playing really good, and I didn't expect that kind of a blowout.
Yeah.
I expected maybe that if they won, I wouldn't have been surprised, but I thought it would have at least been close.
Yeah, I thought so too. Being Green Bay, being that hot, and they went down the field quick. So I'm like, okay, this is what the game's going to be. But after that, Tampa changed something up.
Tampa Bay's defense is sneakily pretty good.
They're finally coming out, and of course, they got a lot of their players back this week. So, but it's just weird. Like when you break down between everywhere he's lived, he has been around championships.
Yeah, man. If the Rays
of course,
win,
the stretch in New England was so damn long.
I'm absolutely saying that Tom Brady is the reason the Rays win if they do.
Yeah.
Now that you brought this up, I mean, this is brand new evidence.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it would not surprise me if they somehow do it and Rays get their first World Series title. Man. But so far, this game is what we thought. It's in the fourth inning.
Pitcher's duel, yeah.
Pitcher's duel,
yeah, man.
Titans at 50 pitches. He's through 3 in the third inning.
Glasnow's over 50 as well.
Yeah, so, man, I don't know. This series is going to be some interesting. One of the better ones. Last year, of course.
Well,
I didn't like watching it, but
right.
But the biggest thing this year is there's no away and home games. You're not traveling, so you're more rested. You're more focused. Because remember last year, Astros won all the games in Washington, and Washington won all the games in Houston.
Yep.
So
I don't think that's a huge deal. It just worked out that way. But like you said, this is
probably less stress on the body.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, this one I think if it stays like this, man, it's definitely gonna be a bullpen situation where they're gonna make or break your team.
And then I saw something else why is all the major sports this year has either come out of LA or Tampa Bay? Because with the Lakers winning the title this year.
Yeah.
And they said Florida because Miami Heat was in the finals.
Right.
I was like, dude, what the hell is this LA versus Florida thing? But man, should be an interesting series, What Kershaw we're gonna get? We're gonna get the first 2 game Kershaw great, and then game 7 he blows up again?
I don't know, man. He's looking pretty locked in right now.
Yeah, so we'll see.
So, yeah, we'll keep you guys updated for sure.
Yeah. So with that pretty much does it for this week.
Yep.
Nothing much besides now it's just World Series time, watching games, see how it goes. So next week, I don't know. Are we gonna do a mid? Because if we do on Tuesday, you're talking, what's that? Game 6, if we're there, or we might just wait till it's over. It'd be a World Series recap.
Well, either way, yeah, we'll put something out there for you guys.
Yeah. So that is it for us this evening. You have a good time. Enjoy the World Series. We'll see y'all next time.
All right.
We were undiscovered, didn't care for one another, you and I.